I think we had a little misunderstanding, though, because I understood this was supposed to be Pennsylvania polka tonight, and we'd all be getting free tote bags. But that said, you know, obviously the gas that's beneath our feet represents a potential economic boom, the likes of which we probably have never seen before in Pennsylvania. For how many years to come, we don't know. I think we have to be careful about penny wise and pound foolish. You know, a lot of people see dollar signs, but I don't know if everybody is really looking around the turn at what might be next. I think we would do well to follow the example that the state of New York has set and declared a moratorium until they get a better... They have a moratorium so that they can get a better handle on hydraulic fracturing and what it will mean to the environment and how to accomplish it in an environmentally responsible way. I think Harrisburg is a little, you know, our DEP is a little too reactive instead of proactive. And I think we see a little too much ready, fire, aim out of Harrisburg. And I would also just add that I don't think we have any reason to believe a word the gas companies say unless we know that their feet are being held to the fire by Harrisburg every minute of every day that they spend drilling in Pennsylvania.
What is the hurry? Where is the fire? This gas sitting underneath Pennsylvania is not moving anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It is there to stay. They talk about us being the Saudi Arabia of the United States. I'm not comfortable with that at all. I think that that does not give me any comfort. I do not trust Harrisburg. They shoved gambling down our throats in the middle of the night on a holiday weekend, and I think that they are moving in the same direction. Plus, the coffers of our politicians are full of money, and the Department of Homeland Security used an Israeli company to spy on our own citizens who attended things like Gasland. That's preposterous and wrong. We should not be spending money to spy on our own citizens. Harrisburg, wake up and listen.
You've got a real good moment here, and I'm going to tell you why. We disagree with each other regularly, and we do have spirited discussion. We're basically all on the same page here. I want the economy to prosper. I want the jobs to come. Make us all millionaires, gas companies, but don't poison the water, don't poison the air, don't kill us all in the process. Don't burn the village to save it. We understand that most of us don't trust government. We don't trust business. We know the history of northeastern Pennsylvania with coal. I'll never turn my back on the coal history and the ramifications, the damage done. So we're at a great moment where we can find common ground. But what irks me is the sides have been drawn too stringently. Either you're on this side or you're on that side. There's an elitism and a snobbishness that I'm sensing from some of the anti-drillers. There is a reactionary, get out of my face hippie tree hugger position on the other side. We can find common ground, but you got to go look for it.
Would you enter and sign in, please?
I'm Dr. Thomas Junta. I'm president of the Gas Drilling Awareness Coalition.
All right, now tell us what the Gas Drilling Coalition is.
We're a group of everyday citizens that formed probably about 6 months ago in response to this rapid influx of industrialization of northeastern Pennsylvania, and particularly our back mountain community.
Now you are, I'm still looking for that opposition point of view, and I don't think you are it.
I'm not going to say that it's not opposition, okay? I disagree with the plus and minuses that you have here in the audience. I think that that might be a gas company strategy to divide neighbor against neighbor. And I want to start off by saying we don't look our noses down at people that have leased, okay? We don't have animosity towards people that have leased. We care about our resources. We care about our fresh water, our clean air, and where we live, okay? And I'd like to make a statement about what recently happened with Homeland Security, okay? We're talking about an industry in collusion with our own government, okay? This industry has barreled over Pennsylvania so fast, and now our own taxpayer money was used to surveil people in my group, one of about 50 groups or more across the state that is looking to educate the community about what's happening in northeastern Pennsylvania. If you look at the gas industry, they've had 435 accidents in the last 2.5 years, 952 of them with the potential to contaminate air, water, and soil. That's a 66% chance of contamination. Not chance, it happened, okay? Today, the National Wildlife Federation president came out and ranked Pennsylvania 6th in the country with leaks, spills, explosions, and deaths from the gas and oil industry. So I ask, who is the real terrorist here? You know, I mean, you have this Goliath industry spending $14 million in the last 1.5 years to lobby and to campaign for this activity to happen. You know, and we talk about, the last speaker talked about 100,000 plus acres. You know, as far as I'm concerned, in our democracy, it's not 1 acre, 1 vote. It's 1 person, 1 vote, okay? And where we live out in the back mountain area, maybe 5% of the people have leased their land, okay? Now, that 5%, along with a powerful industry, is dictating to the other 95% what's actually going to happen, okay? Article 1, Section 27 of our Constitution says everybody's entitled to clean air and clean water, okay? If it was simply a property issue, right, you know, where you can do what you want on your property, I'd have no problem with that. If what you did on your property didn't affect me, I'd say go ahead, go for it if you wanted to pollute your own water. But unfortunately, the underground aquifers travel beneath us all. And what happens on your property is going to affect my water, the water of my children and your grandchildren.
All right, I want to get, thank you for that. Ken, where is Ken? Come up, please.
This is something, again, that I think needs to be examined in the future, and this is something, again, that we at Wilkes University, working with colleagues from King's, and specifically we're part of this newly formed Institute for Energy and the Environment of Northeastern Pennsylvania, we really want to get a handle on what's going on. So we're going to be doing really completely unbiased analyses of both the surface water and the groundwater. And then what we want to do is to put together an information clearinghouse that will consist of a web page as well as a whole series of meetings and other kinds of activities that will really get to the heart of the issue and to make sure that the debate is being governed not by people who are or not, you know, not by anecdotes and supposition and accusations, but really by the best science. We have to let the science dictate what we do. Otherwise, we're operating in ignorance.
All right, Steve Corbett, it's up to you.
Will Wilkes University accept donations from the gas drilling corporations the way Penn State University has accepted donations, which clouded their science?
All right. Right now, we're actually working with a variety of different energy companies on different...
What does working with mean?
No, all right. We work with biomass companies, with companies that do wind, solar, geothermal, nuclear.
Will you answer his question?
Yeah, we're doing a variety of different things. If we do decide to take money from gas, and that hasn't really been decided yet,
have you taken any money?
We will make sure that that we will do it in a way that we will tell the industry what they need to hear and not what they want to hear. Okay, and they will know that up front.
Mr. Corbett's question was, will you accept, and is that a matter you just haven't decided yet?
Right, in terms of working from the future, we haven't really decided.
Okay, anybody in the, I'm sorry, Steve, go ahead.
And if you're working with energy companies now, have you accepted their money up until now? I mean, have you accepted any money from the energy industry?
From which energy industry, please?
Any of those that you've named, particularly natural gas?
Sure, yeah, we've accepted money from various energy companies.
Is there any representative in the audience from any gas drilling company? There's not. And that's a point that has to be made here very clearly. You are?
No, but I would like to respond to that.
Okay, I want to make my point
Fair enough.
first.
You make your point and I'll get her up here.
My point is, I went out of my way to make contact with the Marcellus Shale Coalition. I asked for Katie Klaber, the president of the Marcellus Shale Coalition. She was not going to be available. I put requests in. Nancy Kamen put requests in because we felt we had, in the strictest sense of fairness, outreach, so that those corporations who want to be our good neighbors would come to this community discussion and participate. Nobody, to the best of my knowledge, a representative from the corporation responded, and nobody's here.
Now tell me, what has the media been saying that is absolutely untrue?
If I see a faucet on fire on TV or in the newspaper one more time, that is very upsetting. What is going on in Dimmock has been going on for the past 70 years, but you don't hear people saying that.
Okay. I give you a lot of credit for having the courage to stand up here and do this.
How does Michelle know that that's been happening for 70 years in Dimmock? I'd just like to know, and I just want to say this, as someone who does want responsible drilling, unless you live there, you don't know. So that's what I don't like, is when people take a side, and I don't know, maybe you know something I don't know, but how do you know that if you're not there and you're not a scientist?
Okay.
I don't understand.
I'm going to go right across left to right to give you, you need to speak up. This is what you wanted to do, this show.
I think the most glaring insult of this evening is no presence from the corporations. And I made a real point to invite them, because they got to win our trust, and they've told us to stick it.
And this would have been a perfect example of goodwill and good faith.
And newspaper ads are great, and they're glossy, and they say a message, and so does a radio ad, but a personal communication, they're buying a lot of advertising, folks. You see it, right?
Okay.
You hear it.
What did we learn tonight? What would you have had this show accomplish? And Steve, try to keep it to 15, 20 seconds. We'll start.
The industry, as early in the game as it is, has had too many violations. They've already shown us that they cannot be trusted without strict regulation. They owe us. They need to win our trust.
Okay, Sue Henry.
My grandfather was a coal miner. He spent the last 2 decades of his life with oxygen in his nose. Please be careful what you do.
James, who just called, said, you know, the gas companies take it very seriously when there's a spill. I liken that to when people say the same kind of thing about politicians. He did a lot for our area. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what that's their job. That's what we expect them to do, but I don't think we can expect them to do it unless somebody's watching them.
Nancy, you wrap it up, 15 seconds.
Wrap it up? All right. Well, I thank you all, because I think this turned out really nice, because I was a little concerned. There's been heated words before, so we were able to talk about this. And I think if we all just look at me as a landowner, as someone, I do care about my property. And please don't think we're only in it for the money. That's how I would finish that.
Thank you very much. Thank you to our panel from WILK. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.